When I was young, I had feared the unseen figures in dark places. I would curl under my blanket, clutching a flashlight tightly and shivering with fear, convinced that monsters lurked just beyond the reach of the light. I assumed my childish fears were nothing more than a creation of my own mind, a figment of my imagination, and that I had moved past them. How wrong I was. It was a stormy night when I found myself alone in an old secluded cabin nestled deep within the woods. The rain cascaded in torrents, creating a symphony of sound that echoed through the trees like a haunting melody. The allure of such a rustic, picturesque setting had faded into an eerie sense of solitude as the daylight dwindled and the shadows began their slow encroachment. Determined to conquer my lingering fear, I pushed aside the gnawing sensation that I was not alone and busied myself with lighting candles and starting a cozy fire. The warm glow provided some comfort, but as the storm kept crashing down, so did the darkness that enveloped the cabin. As I settled onto the worn-out couch, I tried to distract myself with a book. Yet, my eyes kept darting to the corners of the room, where the shadows seemed to gather and dance, their movements taking on sinister shapes and forms. Every creak and groan of the cabin's old wood heightened my unease, and I couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was watching me. In hopes of calming my mind, I forced myself to venture into the kitchen to make some tea. The small space was barely lit, and the shadows twisted and swayed, appearing more alive than ever. My heart hammered in my chest, and I hastened my steps, feeling the overwhelming urge to flee from the darkness. Returning to the living room with my trembling cup of tea, I sat back down, trying to regain my composure. But the shadows seemed to grow bolder, creeping closer, and circling me like hyenas hunting their prey. My mind played tricks on me, conjuring images of faces and figures within those ominous shapes. I scolded myself for indulging in such irrational fear. I knew the shadows were merely a result of the flickering candlelight, the product of a frightened psyche. Yet the fear persisted, an inexplicable sensation that gnawed at my sanity. Time seemed to slow down as the night dragged on, and I found myself unable to escape the ever-tightening grip of the dark void. I tried to distract myself, turning on some music, hoping the sound would drown out my rising anxiety. The melody played softly in the background, but the shadows seemed to dance to their own rhythm, unaffected by my futile attempts to escape their embrace. In a desperate bid to break free, I resolved to confront the shadows head-on. I stood, clutching the candle in my trembling hand, and moved toward the darkest corner of the room. The storm outside unleashed its fury, matching the tempest of emotions raging within me. "Show yourself," I demanded. Silence enveloped the cabin, broken only by the relentless patter of rain. I strained to hear anything out of the ordinary, but the shadows remained still, their secrets veiled in abyss. With each passing moment, my courage waned, and I started to doubt the wisdom of my actions. I began to retreat, my feet moving hastily backward, away from the ominous corner. And then it happened. A figure materialized from the shadows, a haunting silhouette that seemed to defy the reality itself. My heart threatened to burst from my chest as I stumbled backward, the candle slipping from my grasp and extinguishing in a wisp of smoke. In the suffocating darkness, the figure moved closer, its presence palpable, its sinister aura suffusing the room with an otherworldly chill. My breath hitched as I realized that I was not alone with mere shadows. I was face to face with something beyond ordinary. Terrified and paralyzed, I could only watch. As the figure drew closer, its form shifting and contorting with each step. My mind screamed for escape, but my body refused to obey, rooted to the spot by an ancient fear that had taken hold of me once more. Unable to move, the horror and dread filled my entire being. Despair and hopelessness reached my very soul. It was at the moment it reached for me when, with a flash of thunder, the figure dissipated back into the shadows, leaving me alone in the dark once more. I stumbled back to the couch, my heart still pounding, and huddled there till morning when the first rays of light banished the darkness. As the sun painted the cabin with warm hues, I knew that I would never forget that night. The night I faced my deepest fears and came face to face with the terrifying truth that the shadows were not merely figments of my imagination, but the veil that concealed a world I could never fully comprehend. In the moon's pale glow, where darkness blends, a realm of mystery where fear ascends. Through the veils of night, I softly glide, a spectral wanderer, forever untied. Beneath the stars' gaze, my presence shrouds. I dance on whispers through midnight clouds, in hidden depths where shadows conspire. I roam, unseen, like a ghostly liar. A phantom painter, I sketch my fears upon the canvas of your trembling tears. In the labyrinth of dreams and dread, I cast my spell, a haunting thread. With every heartbeat my essence grows, a symphony of horrors the darkness knows. In silent steps, I draw near and near, a nameless terror you can't revere. Through haunted echoes and ancient sighs, I linger, unseen, where sorrow lies. In moonlit halls, my spectre glows, a spirit searching where torment flows. With every step you take in dread, I'll lead you deeper where fears are fed. Through haunted whispers and eerie moans, enjoy the darkness until the dawn. I seek the secrets buried deep in the souls of those who cannot sleep. In deepest slumber, I find my prize, a harvest of fears, a dark reprise. The night will pass and dawn will break, but you'll forever carry the ache. For in the shadows, I'll always remain, a haunting presence, a never-ending bane. So heed this warning, mortal dear. The shadows grasp, you can't adhere. For I'm the phantom, never ceased, a spectral soul, the night's dark priest. Embrace the terror, fear's delight, for in the shadows you'll take fright. The dread you crave, the horror's tale, all of your nightmares, just under my veil.